Hello Instagram, hello everybody. Welcome to High Noon. Today is Tuesday. We have another fabulous jammed week of local personalities here to talk about summer 2021. And today I have an incredible guest. He is a character that everybody sees all over, all the time. He's a very social man. He's also a predominant commercial real estate guru. And without any ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. William Roger Cummings.
Hi, how are you?
Yay!
Great to be here.
Yay! Welcome, welcome. So I wanted to be a mini-me version.
Thank you very much.
He's always impeccably dressed. I love that about you.
It's a pleasure to be in your gallery, Kasha.
Thank
I'm
you.
excited.
Yay.
I love all this big visual art.
It is big, that is for sure. We need some big walls. So speaking of big walls, Mr. Commercial Real Estate Guru, let's tell everybody about how your career, because you've been at it for forever.
Well, my dad was a real estate investor. So when I was a young guy, I became a real estate broker. And when I was 21 years old, I bought my first multi-unit building.
21?
Mm-hmm.
Lucky you.
In those days, 21 was kind of a threshold. Maybe now it'd be more 18, but it was a step to adult real estate, multi-family ownership.
And you did that through the influence of your amazing father, obviously, in
definitely.
Portland, Maine.
That's correct.
That's where you hail from.
26 Cushman Street, Portland, Maine, in the Western Promenade.
Hey.
So you can Google it, it's still there.
Excellent. And do you still have any property up there? Any investments?
No, I'm not drawn to Maine. I have some friends on Facebook or social media that are my friends from high school. And when I envision them like I last saw them in high school. But they're very loyal to me, and I'm very loyal to them, and I hope to stay grounded and stay the same guy that they are nice to and remember.
Oh, that's awesome. And from let's just start from the very beginning, because Cummings is you said Irish background.
Yeah, I think it's probably Irish. It's UK, Irish, Scottish, and we always kind of considered it was Irish.
Okay. And did your family ever research your lineage? Did you ever go to Ireland?
No, I never visited Ireland, although we have a coat of arms that comes from the family that was researched for us, and that was kind of exciting because
What did they discover?
Huh?
What did they discover about
Well,
your family?
they discovered that we're pretty mundane people. I guess we took care of sheep and lived in a pastoral environment.
Oh, how beautiful. In Ireland? My goodness.
Yeah, so we weren't kings and queens, but we're good people.
Of course. And you came from Maine to Miami first to follow law.
Well, I went to Miami for undergraduate. I was a visitor here from Portland, Maine, when I was 15 years old with my dad. He was coming on a business trip to Miami Beach in the wintertime.
What year?
Well, 1963 maybe, something like that.
63 Miami.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I had no idea that if you left Logan Field in Boston, Massachusetts, and threw off your greatcoat, jumped in an airplane, in 2.5 hours you'd be in summer. And it stayed summer
That blew your mind?
all year long.
Yeah.
We were at Miami Beach, in a hotel, up in a high floor, looking out at the ocean.
Were you at the Eden Rock?
I don't know which
The
one
Eden
we're
Rock
at.
was very popular back then.
Yeah, I don't know. My dad was on a business trip, as I said, and I was there with my stepmother and chilling at a resort.
Nice.
And never seen anything like that before.
Blew your mind.
Yeah.
Excellent. So that inspired you to return to Miami to go to school.
I sent one application, if they hadn't accepted me, I don't know what I'd be doing.
Wow. Well, you would have been following your father's footsteps.
Possibly.
Yeah, you'd be a big developer in Portland, Maine, sitting pretty.
Yeah, it could
Even
be.
though you're sitting pretty right here, right now.
Well, there's a lot of lovely spots in Portland, Maine, although it's a negative population growth area. When I graduated high school, the population of Portland, Maine was 100,000. It's now approximately 66,000.
What happened?
No jobs, harsh weather, inclement,
Aw.
difficult times for the
I'm
Northeast.
sorry to hear that. Well, would you have it that we have a special delivery? Look at this, Angelica.
Wow, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. All right.
One beautiful
Espresso.
Oh,
espresso.
KASHA McKee Gallery cups? Now you're talking.
Thank you, sweetie.
Wow, super.
Mwah.
Enjoy.
She's
Thank you
fabulous.
so
You're
much.
welcome.
Yeah, I figured, a shameless plug would be all right.
Well, I'd just like to interject if I may.
Of course.
It's a great pleasure to be in the KASHA McKee Gallery
McKee.
and also the Palm Beach Design Showroom.
Oh, the Palm Beach Design Showroom, 25,000 square feet. I usually add that, include that in my intro. I didn't today. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, I love being here as well as a gallery amongst all of these other incredible galleries and artists. Thank you. The compliment is well received, and I hope that everybody out there finds their way over here because the art is sensational, it's collectible, and art makes you happy.
The thing
Does it
that I find about the design showroom is my experience has been mostly left brain. I'm a lawyer, I'm an accountant, I'm a real estate investor, I'm a broker.
Wow.
But I have neglected kind of the creative side of my brain. And I try to associate with and experience and visit creative people, music, art, paintings, photography. And for me, to be in the design showroom, to experience the art face to face, in person,
Yeah.
gives me a vibe.
Yeah, it is
And-
wonderful.
And this particular location in Lake Worth, Florida, at 500 North Dixie Highway, is not what you would expect
in the area.
in this district.
Yeah.
But the
It's a gem.
owners of the gallery and the promoters are very forward-thinking guys, and they put it here because the future will develop and surround it.
Last season was pretty busy. We had lots of events. You were here, attended several events.
That's it.
Can we go back just a little bit to the original KASHA McKee Gallery? Do you remember where that was?
Well, the first time I remember visiting your gallery was 150 Worth Avenue in Palm Beach.
Exactly. There it is.
Very, very large open space with very, very large dramatic pieces of art displayed.
3,000 square feet.
Yeah.
White. That was such a beautiful space to debut my career. And thrilled to be here as well, maybe even more so because Worth Avenue is a wonderful location. It's I'm at a loss because it's so awesome. There are so many other incredible galleries.
Well, Worth Avenue is an internationally known,
Yes.
superior location
Thank
for
you for
art and
explaining.
fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Rodeo Drive, Worth Avenue, and other
world class.
handful of locations you can name around the world are sought after for connoisseurs.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was the big highlight, and it was a really big deal to open up there, to be a part of the Worth Avenue strip. But it was just a pop-up, and in and out. And by the time it was time to close, things were winding down seasonally anyway, and Easter, etc. But fast forward to today, and here I opened up in November and brought the same work that was in storage to this location, and it's the girls that run Paola and Angelica. They're so spot on about how they, with their marketing, and during season we had several in the front part exhibitions, and they included me in many of them. So a lot of people came through, and hoping this season upcoming it'll be even better.
Awesome. Another thing I remember about that time on Worth Avenue is you were so generous with your time, working with Supercar Week and
Yeah.
exotic automobiles and
That was a good
activities.
party.
That was just so inclusive.
I like to collaborate. It's really important to collaborate for the benefit of both parties. That's why we're doing the show, so that we can have personalities locally to come on here and discuss how things are recovering locally, 2021, and talk about how you contribute individually. So let's get back to you.
Thank you.
And I got you some cookies.
Wow.
You like cookies?
Cookies, coffee, beautiful, creative gallery owners.
Yay,
Now
yay,
you're talking.
Yay, yay, so Mr. Cummings, he's so wonderful. There isn't a day that goes by where you will run into him sitting at a patio, going to an event, and he is always impeccably dressed. I adore you for that. I love a well-dressed man, I must say.
You're very kind to say that. Thank you. But I guess when you get up in the morning, you know who you are, and you dress yourself. So I'm fortunate. I don't really work hard. I don't have a uniform in my work, but I kind of enjoy dressing nicely.
Yeah, it makes you feel good, right?
I think so. Thanks.
Yeah, it makes you feel good. I love dressing nicely too. And I particularly put on this suit for you today.
Wow, thank you very much.
I borrowed the hat from my husband.
Looks good. A nice band on there.
Yeah.
Very nice detail.
So tell us about what's going on with the commercial real estate, because when the pandemic rolled in, it was like, halt. Tell us your experience
When
of
the
what
pandemic
happened.
rolled in,
Yes.
it was halt for New York City, New York State, Portland, Oregon, Chicago, Illinois, but not here.
Not here.
Not here.
Wow.
We have leadership in Tallahassee, the governor Ron DeSantis, who has worked very
Back
hard.
to the governor.
Has worked very hard to keep Florida open for business and provide vaccine for everybody who needs it, wants it, or would like to have it.
Yeah, God bless him. God bless
So
him.
we have been fortunate. Real estate brokers were essential. We were not.
Essential business.
Yeah, we were not locked out. We were not forced to cease our activity.
Okay, so you
But-
stayed busy.
Yes, but we also followed rules with masking and with social distancing,
course.
2 meters,
Yeah.
and we respected very much the medical ramifications of such a horrific pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also, it created so much interest in real estate in our market. In the year 2020, in the town of Palm Beach Board of Realtors alone, I believe the statistics I read was $2.3 billion in closed sales. And those,
For 2020?
yeah, so those are mostly residential.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, mostly residential sales.
A lot of residential sales.
And very, very high-end, high-cost residential sales. $95 million, $46 million.
On the island, yeah.
Those amounts.
Yeah, there was a huge influx from New York and other parts of the country. Big money, big money. So back to the commercial experience. The Ben opened. Elizabeta's open. Tell us about, quickly, the most recent developments and the hot places that are happening right now because of that.
Well, hot places changes quite a bit because many business owners from other parts of the country are coming here and bringing the experience and expertise of their previously successful businesses in those markets.
Such as?
Well, such as the Banco Cantina. That was a local restaurant and bar that was very, very detail-oriented, very beautifully restored, historic building, but they had difficulty with
In West Palm.
in West Palm Beach. They had difficulty with their operations and marketing. But restaurateurs from out of the state come, they reinvented that location, reinvented that beautiful historic building,
I have not been there yet.
and now it's very exciting.
What's the address? Where is it?
It's probably 124 South Olive, something like that.
Oh, so it's not on Clematis, it's sort of like one of the side streets.
Yeah, it's the second building south from Clematis.
Oh, hold on a second, maybe I have been there. Do they have a rooftop?
Yes.
Yes, that is a great building.
Yeah.
And I think on the second floor, there's another sort of event space, or was a club at one time,
Yeah.
but okay, I've been on the rooftop.
Yeah. It's beautiful there.
Mm-hmm.
And Roxy's also has a rooftop, and that's Enterprise, a nightclub
on
restaurant
Clematis.
on Clematis Street.
Right.
That is very popular, has been very popular, continues to be very popular, and the management there does a great job relating to the downtown people.
Oh, here's a question for you. When you go to Roxy's, what night do you go?
Well, I don't go to Roxy's particularly on a schedule.
You just sort of randomly show up.
I often go to Roxy's when there is a activity or an event there. The Downtown Neighbors Association has some very nice events on the rooftop at Roxy's.
All right, so next question. I've been to Roxy's one time. Just for my own investigation of Clematis, and I took the stairs. So there's an elevator, but there are the stairs. So have you ever taken the stairs up and down? Because I find that a little scary. The elevator's not so fast. You're waiting for the elevator, doobie-doobie-doo, up and down. Meanwhile, it's like at least three flights.
Well, the building has been there for a long time, and there were different restaurants and activities there over these years. So, of course, I've ascended those stairs many times, and I've also ridden that lift, which is kind of a slow,
It's very
relaxed
slow.
lift. But I also have visited cities like Chicago, Illinois, where they have rapid elevators. So I'm okay in either elevator.
All right. So other locations that have been revamped, the pawn shop, now the Palm Beach Social.
Yeah. Well, Cleve Marsh is the owner of that club, and he's owned it since the Monkey Bar days. And he was the very successful, long-running restaurant club owner in that space in those early,
It's a big space.
early years of Clematis. Then he was partner with Rockstar, and they revamped the place and really full-on current.
Was that the Feel Good days?
Yeah, that was Dr. Feelgood's.
And the rock star that was involved was it a Motley Crue guy or a Poison guy?
I met him, and I don't
Do you
know.
remember who it was?
I don't know a lot about rock, but it was
Do you remember his name?
Dr. Feelgood's is their album, one of their albums.
Uh-oh, I
So-
should know this.
So maybe some of our viewers can comment
Feel Good.
and let us know.
Oh no, I'm so embarrassed that I don't remember. Do you know if they did something in South Beach?
I think so,
I think
but
they did something in South Beach.
yeah, I don't remember the details, but I remember he told me
While ago.
that they had done a lot of clubs. I know Ronnie Woods had a club in South Beach. They call it Woody's. I used to go down there when they have special events also.
Okay. So back to Clematis. Have you been to Sauerbahn?
I have.
Isn't it beautiful what they've done there?
I have. I've experienced
Right
many.
next door to Palm Beach Social.
I've experienced many things there. The environment downstairs and also upstairs, the little niche private club area. That's pretty cool.
It's now called The Lab,
Oh, okay.
and I've DJ'd there.
And I remember visiting there with KASHA McKee, DJ, and Cody Tro.
Yes, yes, Cody.
They were busting it.
Cody
in
will
there.
be here on Friday.
Oh wow.
Yes,
He's
he'll
a
be
very
sitting
cool
in
guy.
that red chair.
Very cool.
Mr. Palm Beach.
Yeah, very cool,
One of my
creative
favorites.
guy.
He helped me actually get back into the DJ fun when originally I started DJing in South Beach, way back, and then moving to Palm Beach, getting married, doing the art thing. There was a bit of a lull, and I was like, you know what? I really miss playing, because there's it's a real special feeling when you DJ. I'm sure it's very similar to a musician or any performer when they're playing music. And anyway, I called him up and said, hey, what do you think? Is there room in locally for me to kind of come back and maybe start DJing? He's like, yeah, absolutely. So he helped me buy equipment, set it up, gave me the whole 101 on how to catch up with the technology, because before I played with albums and with CDs. Completely different animal these
Well,
days.
you were scratching.
I wasn't a scratcher, but anyway. So yeah, Cody will be here on Friday, and
Don't miss Cody, a very cool guy, very creative musician,
chef.
and a chef.
yeah, at the Fern Street Grill. Is that what they call
501?
it now? Is that what they call it now? Fern
Yeah.
Street Grill.
Open for lunch.
Yeah, yum.
It's on Fern between Rosemary and Quadrille on the north side.
That's an interesting block. It's very quiet there.
Well, it's now owned by Related Group, and they built the 360 Rosemary commercial building on the Rosemary side, and now they also own the peripheral buildings there.
So let me ask you, because I've been here 10 years-ish, and from Toronto to South Beach, to Palm Beach. When I first moved here, I really didn't think that there was much cool factor in West Palm, and I didn't really participate much in going out, but once we slowly started making friends and got more acquainted with the vibe here, laid back, chill, in the past 3 years, it has really started to come up with the cool factor. I'm so happy and proud of West Palm Beach with the people that are involved and the things that are going on. They revamped the actual street to make it look so much nicer with the lighting.
Yeah, that streetscape revitalization project by Donner and Associates was $2.2 million each block, totally new drainage, totally new curbless environment, flexible for events as well as day-to-day use.
More patios.
Yep, wider sidewalks,
Yes, it's
more
beautiful.
sidewalk seating.
It's beautiful. So have they finished it completely now? Did they make it all the way up to the 500 block? I believe they did.
Yep,
All done.
yep,
We know the engineering company that did the lighting.
nice.
Yes, Larry. Larry is a friend of ours, him and Alexandra. Where is my mind? I can't remember Larry's last name right now. Anyway, his company did the lighting. Exceptional job.
Beautiful. There's so much going on here all the time. And like I mentioned earlier in the session, a lot of money came in from other states, like California. There's a lot of Section 1031 deferred tax funds coming here.
Interesting.
And those opportunities from the Internal Revenue Code require a reinvestment in like-kind property. So commercial sales in California results in large sums of money were reinvested here in West Palm Beach and Palm Beach in big chunks.
Now, who are some of the big names?
Well, one of the big names is always going to be Related Group. That's a name that we learned about from City Place, David
City
Palladino.
Place had an incredible renovation as well.
Well, David Palladino and his partner bought all the land to make a project called Uptown Downtown, which left 78 acres in the middle of the city vacant. But at the time, the environment was not suitable. Interest rates were very high. Mortgages were 18%.
This is pre-City Place.
Yeah, so that property was sitting there vacant for many years.
Wow.
And then one of our commissioners at the time, Pat Pepper Schwab, and the rest of the commission at that time got together with Stephen Ross, who was a part of the Related Group, and Ken Himmel, who was the leader of the Related Group, and they developed City Place.
Incredible. I need to applaud you right now because the information that is in this beautiful mind of yours.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing. The detail and the accounting of the history of West Palm Beach. Bravo.
Well, I try to go everywhere and do everything all the time, and my gain is personal knowledge, and my enrichment is from the people and the personalities that I meet.
It's so fantastic that you remember all these people's names and dates and what they did and who was involved. All right, so let's go to the condos that were being built, I believe, by the Green Company.
I think they call it One West Palm,
Yeah.
2 30-story buildings.
What happened with that? Because they were building and then they're not building. Are they building again?
Well, Jeff Green is a self-made billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
He
He owns a lot
very-
of property.
He was very successful in California. He transferred a lot of that capital here by choice because he had youthful recollections from being here with his family, and he had a penchant to be here and an interest in being here, and we've been the better for it. He had about a net worth of maybe $2.8 billion at the time.
Do you know how he made his money?
Sure, real estate.
That commercial or both, residential or both?
Well, when he was at
California.
Harvard, when he was at Harvard, he was buying and renovating and renting residential properties. When he moved to California and advanced his holdings, he had many varied larger projects. But he was also one of the guys,
Good
if
for
not
him.
the only guy, when there was a secondary mortgage market collapse in the world because of the collusion or the misrepresentation of mortgage documents at the time.
Are we talking about the bubble in '97?
Right. That
That bubble.
yeah, that secondary mortgage market collapsed, and he had made an investment predicting that. It's similar to maybe a short in stock market, where you think that the stock is overpriced and you take a position to short it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Anticipating.
when that bubble burst, because it was created on false premise, he was a very big winner on those investments. And
Similar.
his-
One second. Sorry for interrupting, but that sounds exactly like the movie, The Big Short.
well, it might have been about him.
The Big Short. What a great movie. I've seen it a couple times.
Well, the story was, investment houses came to the investor and said, you know, if you can short this market, if you can short that secondary mortgage market, you can make a big reward. And he said, well, couldn't I just do that myself? And I guess Wall Street man said, well, if you had enough money, you could. Well, he did.
Yeah. All right. So he came to West Palm and bought a bunch of land because I know he owns a bunch of commercial real estate on Clematis.
he bought about
The
300
Tideline Hotel. He owns.
350 to 400 million dollars worth of real estate in the town of Palm Beach and downtown West Palm Beach.
Amazing.
And one of the projects you were referring to is the One West Palm, 2 30-story structures, and they were originally slated to be a mix of hotel, rental, retail on the first floor, and the top 5 floors were Class A office.
Oh, really?
That project was going on and mostly built the exterior around the time the pandemic started.
Mm-hmm.
Everything changed at that time, and
Mhm.
everybody was unsure at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But Mr. Green continued with his investment, although he had to shut the project down. Maybe 2,000 men were working on that project because they weren't allowed to work in proximity
Yeah.
on these big construction jobs.
Right.
Now, following that, another few months goes by, and the market changes, and the intelligence reports to the developer are that there's no longer such a demand for a Class A office in this market.
Uh-oh.
So he goes to the city and said, I'd like to restructure that mix.
Mm-hmm.
And the city said no, and they had a little difficulty with that
Why do you think the city said no?
because they said they had given him a variance, allowing him to go 5 stories higher than other buildings before.
Mm-hmm.
25 stories was the prior limit, and he was given to 30.
Well, why, what's the big deal of changing it from offices to residential?
Well, the government in West Palm Beach said, we gave you that variance because of the use,
Because it was supposed to be commercial.
because it was supposed to be offices, and therefore the demand was sufficient that it would benefit our city to have that use.
Okay.
Now you want to change it to a residential condominium
Mhm.
use. We don't think that's fair. It's not a correct precedent, and it had to be settled.
That's really interesting. I don't follow that at all. Do you? Do you agree with them?
Well, of course, I agree with government regulation of real estate, and I agree with zoning and choices of uses of real estate. But it's very, very difficult on the individual building or individual project level to always balance that correctly.
Do you agree
And-
with their decision?
Well, I don't know what the decision was.
They said no.
Well, they said no.
No.
They said no, but the building's still there and they're still building it.
Okay.
So the mayor told me that there had been a correct agreement between the city and the developer, but I did not ask the mayor of West Palm Beach, and he did not volunteer in that situation.
Well, now that
What the agreement is.
now that the environment has changed for the better, and businesses are open and people are flocking, perhaps the development will continue, as it was supposed to the first time around, and they defaulted back to having the offices up there.
I don't know what could be.
Yeah,
I know that
but they're busy. They're building.
they're putting the windows in.
Okay, good. Yay!
'Cause
It's an
I see-
interesting location too. It's right on the edge of going towards Northwood and that sort of little bit sketchy area, don't you think?
No, I think it's a perfect location because it's right at the curve on the North Bridge.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's on that
Closer
quadrille.
to the...
On that quadrille
Oh,
curve.
yeah, yes. Okay. But on the other side of that, it gets sketchy pretty quickly.
Well, that's an historic area. It's the historic Northwest, also called the Northwest Rising. The city and the CRA, Community Redevelopment Authority, have invested heavily in the very historic Sunset Cocktail Lounge for total refurbishment and a new structure beside it with all modern commercial kitchen and ADA bathrooms and
Where is this?
on 8th Street.
Okay, and what's it called?
Historic Sunset Cocktail Lounge.
I have not heard of it.
And there's also, next to it, replacing an old, badly deteriorated apartment building, has been the Heart and Soul Park, which is dedicated to music and the cultural African American heritage in that district, centering around Sunset Cocktail Lounge.
So they've been making improvements.
It's amazing. Millions of dollars.
Well, I will take that back, whatever I just said about it being sketchy then. That's wonderful. That's really great news.
Well, it's right down Rosemary North
Mm-hmm.
of Banyan.
Yes.
And a lot of times people come in on Banyan east and west, go out on Banyan east and west, and they never go north on Rosemary.
Yeah, not very often.
Rosemary is a very well known for city place,
Mhm.
now called Rosemary Square.
Rosemary Square.
Reimagined as Rosemary Square.
Yeah.
But
That's
if
nice.
you continue on Rosemary north of Banyan,
Mm-hmm.
on 8th Street, Banyan is 1st Street, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, on 8th Street is the historic Sunset Cocktail Lounge.
I think that is a wonderful location to go investigate.
And it's especially important because of the amazing musical and cultural African American heritage
That sounds great.
in this city.
That sounds great. Let's go there. Can we go there after the show?
Sure. I've been there. I've been there, and I go there quite often because I work with the merchants and the neighbors in that area, and very excited with the decisions for the City of West Palm Beach and the CRA to work and refurbish that historic
Area.
location.
That sounds great. All right, so Mr. Wealth of Knowledge, obviously, I'm so thrilled to have
Thank
you
you.
here because this is what it's all about. It's about sharing the wealth of everybody's knowledge and for our audience to go, oh, really? I've never heard of that place. So, such as?
Well, I'm lucky because I go everywhere and try to attend as many meetings as I can. I listen, and there's so much to learn, it's hard to keep up with. So I appreciate you having a talk show like this so local people
Yeah.
can come and share information, and your audience can pick up some tips and news
Absolutely.
that they
Can
hadn't
do
heard.
now. They
Yeah.
can do now, tomorrow, the next day. All right, so let's just shift gears a bit. Let me ask you, how, in your commercial real estate career, you work for Century 21.
Mhm.
Do you have any investments yourself in regards to owning buildings and locations around here?
Kasha, that's the whole idea.
Okay, good.
The steps are buy multi-unit residential properties, pay off the mortgage loan as soon as possible, maintain the properties step by step when the issues are small, and collect the rent.
Right. So may I ask, are you happy with your investments and your career up to this date? Or would you like to do more? If so, what?
Well, I have purchased buildings in this market years ago that I wrote a check for. And the rent on each of those units is probably more annually than I paid for the building. So yes, I've been very happy.
Yay! Wow, I'll give you a
Thank you.
well done. Congratulations.
And
What about future prospects?
well, my goddaughter is 20 years old. She's at the University of Central Florida in the nursing program to become a nurse practitioner. And I told her that my thoughts would be, follow your passion, work in the medical field, work with people, help them, save some of that money for down payments, and make investments in multi-unit properties.
Excellent advice. Excellent advice. So, what are some of these locations that are possibly planned in the area?
Well, it's very hard
New
to
building, new development.
It's very hard to describe that because we have what is considered the largest county in landmass area east of the Mississippi River. We are a really big county, and 12 of the top developers, residential developers in the United States, are building right now in the western part of the county.
That's a good time to build.
Yeah, there's so much going on. up on Beeline Highway near the FAA airport, which is more or less across from Palm Beach International Raceway.
That has been recently sold.
Yes, that development is 4,742 acres. It's called Avenir, and it's huge.
Hold on a second. I heard a rumor that that raceway was purchased and a Walmart is going in there.
Well,
Have
know.
you heard that rumor?
I don't know.
Rumor has it.
I don't know because racetracks
It's a weird place for Walmart.
don't make money. And right now, Walmart's having a problem. So I don't know if that's true. It could be. Walmart has more issues with Amazon than they do with building buildings.
Interesting.
So I'm not sure about that.
Well, Amazon made a huge, back to that word huge, forward leap because of the pandemic. And Walmart definitely suffered because of that. Was Walmart an essential location? It must have been.
Well, the history of that is we used to have mom and pop business that stemmed from mom and pop farms. Mom and pop would grow the foodstuffs, the family would eat it, what was left over they'd sell at the roadside. Then small business. Then Walmart came by and they destroyed or they controlled
Yeah.
the marketplace.
Yeah, they were the what do you call it in Star Wars? The bad guy that came and ate you.
Jabba the Hutt.
No, the Borg bit anyway, destroyed the destroyer of planets.
Well, that happened, and small business was hurt, and the evolution was that Walmart now dominated the market. Well, Jeff Bezos and Amazon has now taken a position of dominance, and Walmart is suffering. So now Walmart is trying to
always
fight.
swings. Isn't
Yeah.
that amazing?
Yeah, Walmart's trying to fight back. They're trying to have online sales. And
Do you go to Walmart?
I went one time. I had a girlfriend years ago who took me to Walmart at 2 o'clock in the morning.
They were open?
Yeah, they're open 24/7.
No way.
And I had never been to a Walmart, especially at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I saw and experienced what has become known online as the Wall Martians.
What?
The Wall Martians are interesting, unique people
Like go
In
to
a big-
Walmart after midnight?
in a big crowd at Walmart
Are they loaded?
at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, let's go to Walmart, do some shopping.
So it's a very interesting thing because there are people, because of their work schedule, because of their situation,
True.
they would like to shop and can shop
Yeah.
at very
The night
late
crawlers.
hours.
We call those the night crawlers, the shadows. The other company that did very well during the pandemic was Costco.
Well, any place,
Love Costco.
Any
Costco
place-
cookies. These are big, fresh, just for you today.
nice. Any place that sells lots of stuff cheap is
Reasonably.
easy to market because
They make quality stuff.
many people make decisions based on price. There are other criteria for decision making, and that makes up the rest of the market.
Mhm.
But I have visited Costco, I visited Walmart, and I also shop on Amazon. So I
What-
try to experience all of it.
All right, so let's get back to your favorite locations. Let's say today is Tuesday. Where would you be going for dinner this evening?
Beachy,
Beachy on Palm Beach Island.
yeah,
Yeah.
some Peruvian. It's a pretty well-known spot around here, and food is good. Atmosphere is kind of low-key and charming.
Do you like the renovations they did there?
I always like renovations because I always learn from renovations. I'm not the guy who draws the plans. I'm not the guy who envisions the changes, but I always try to understand how, why, when the decisions were made.
Are you a taboo gentlemen as well?
I'm not too much on taboo.
Not so much?
Years ago, when
They
I
have a
first
great happy hour.
when I first moved here, it was Jim Peterson's taboo. I used to park my car at the Colony. I'd walk over to Taboo.
Love the Colony.
I have my lunch at Taboo, and then I'd walk the avenue and
Worth Avenue.
meet with the merchants and buy some things. And
Look at the
hang
pretty
out.
girls walk by.
There's always pretty girls on Worth Avenue in Palm Beach.
Very well dressed pretty girls.
It's something like the KASHA McKee Gallery in that regard.
Oh, Mr. Cummings, I adore you. I want to thank you so much for being on the show and just sharing all of your knowledge and history and facts. And
If people like some of these things that we talked about and they'd like to ask me another question, just say hashtag KASHA McKee Gallery, and I'll be happy to respond. I'm on most platforms. You can DM me. I'm happy to share because
your tag is William Rogers Cummings.
William Roger.
Oh, William Roger Cummings.
Yeah.
On Facebook, Instagram, you're on LinkedIn as well,
Yeah.
and you're on Twitter.
Yeah.
You're all over.
Well,
I saw your post that you did for today.
yeah,
Thank you.
mostly 4 platforms
Yeah.
that are comfortable for me. I don't try to be on every social media, but I do like to participate because everybody's
Keeps you
sharing
informed.
so much.
Yeah, it keeps you informed. Well, we are out of time, I'm afraid. So while we hashtag Art Lives here, one more time at the KASHA McKee Gallery, I'm going to thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I hope you liked my outfit for you, and your
Wonderful.
cookies, and your coffee, and your time.
Thank you very much.
So we'll see you around.
Now I'm going to say one thing.
Mhm.
I love your tailored look,
Yes, sir.
but I also love your evening gowns and your sleeves and all of your artistic choices.
Thank you, thank you. Thanks for noticing. Well, that's it, folks. Tune in tomorrow, please, again at high noon. Woo! Here at the KASHA McKee Gallery at the Palm Beach Art and Design Showroom. And you can watch the archive at at my website, kashamckee.com. And otherwise, the Instagram feed will be there as well. But the archives will be on my website if you missed the show, and please pass the word. So, see you tomorrow, and I will see you around, my well-dressed, fine feathered friend. See you later. Yay!
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
The music is moving.